Now we are live here from Radio City Music Hall. It's your boy Skinny Penis and the other boy Robert Slavinsky, and this is Bridging the Geekdoms.
This is Bridging the Geekdoms podcast, a show where a couple of nerds shoot the shit and do their best at bridging all the geekdoms together as they talk movies, television, video games, comics, and so much more. As always, here are your hosts, Robert Slavinsky and Colton Bird. What's going on, everyone?
You hear that shit?
Yeah, we got to get somebody else doing that so it's not my voice saying, hey, here's your host, and then I'm starting to talk.
Hey, it's your host. Skinny Penis. I think I might leave that intro in there. I'll edit it up a little bit, but...
So, I'm Robert Slavinsky.
It's the skinniest boy penis.
Also known as Kurt.
As Kurt.
Curtin.
Carlton Curtin Bird.
Ooh, man, I flubbed up there a little bit.
I think you're drunk, Bob.
I'm not dry. I have had 2 beers.
Well, mom ain't raised no bitch. There's a third one. Chug it.
So what's going on, man? How's your week been?
Oh, it was tits. My birthday was Thursday.
Yeah, happy belated birthday.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah, went and saw movies. Went to a comic book store. Did some stuff.
What comic book store did you go to?
We are no relation or sponsored by them, but New Dimensions Comics in the dying mall of Century 3 Mall.
Yeah,
the husk of what the mall used to be.
That's, yeah, you got 14 stores in there, if that.
19,
man.
And literally one half the mall's closed, minus JCPenney's.
And the carousel's now gone.
It's still there.
But it's shut down, like they're not using it anymore.
Yeah.
It's depressing. It used to be a big mall back in the day.
What? They don't even have a place to eat there anymore. Like, Aunt Annie's isn't even open anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's closed. Like, there's nothing. Like, the whole third level's closed off. Food court's closed off. All the way on the bottom floor's closed off, too.
That's sad. I love that comic book store, though.
It is huge.
It's a huge comic book store. Probably one of the biggest in Pittsburgh, if not the biggest in the Pittsburgh area. So I do like going there whenever I get a chance to.
Did I tell you they had a Black Lotus card there? I asked out of curiosity.
Really? How much were they selling it for?
Fucking $10,000.
No, really?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
I was like, I'd give you a testicle. I want the change back, though.
Pretty sure you can get a little more than 10 grand on the black market from a testicle. Just saying.
That's what I said. I wanted the change back.
But
I'll stand there until it comes.
Shit. Yeah.
So what, you've seen some movies this week.
Yeah, actually.
I've seen some movies this week. Let's collab.
So between the two of us, we've seen 3 movies.
Yeah, we've been doing some work, son.
Yeah.
Using that movie pass. We should really get into contact with him. See if we can get a sponsorship. Yeah. We do really nothing but sponsor the shit out of Movie Pass.
We're just like, Movie Pass.
But now we can get paid.
Would be nice, wouldn't it?
Movie Pass. Every time we say Movie Pass will pay us their Movie Pass dollars. Like $17 per Movie Pass, we say. Wouldn't that be pretty, Movie Pass?
Yeah. So, the 3 movies that we've seen, A Quiet Place, Blockers, and Ready Player One.
Yes.
Where do you want to start?
Well, you do yours first. No, I'll do mine, and then we can do the home best scene.
Okay. So, Ready Player One. I saw
spoilers.
No, I kind of keep it spoiler free here because I think this is the type of movie that you need to go in pretty fresh without knowing much. From what I've understood, I talked to Deej Penholo from Nerdocalypse.
We really need to get him on here.
He says that the book and the movie are drastically different in many ways. Now, pretty much the names of the characters are pretty much the only thing that is the same. But and the overall goal is essentially the same, but everything else
the skeleton of the stories there, and that's it.
Yeah. But I'm not going to bury the lead here. Ready Player One is an absolute treat for any pulp culture fans, especially if you're a fan of 80s and 90s film.
Nice.
It's that simple. I mean, the references to the 80s and 90s is
uncanny.
It's
canny.
The biggest thing of the film. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of pop culture references from the 2000s and like current modern day stuff, but the bulk of it is from the 80s and early 90s. A lot of Back to the Future stuff. But I'm okay with that. I love Back to the Future, so it is what it is. Now, with the story,
Is there a DeLorean in it?
There is.
Nice.
Yeah. And that was in the preview, so I'm not.
Was it?
Yeah, it's in the trailer. So, dude, there's so many cars in this from so many other movies. There's so many Easter eggs in this movie that I think
it's literally Easter.
It's impossible to see them all viewing at one time. Like, you probably need to view it
4 times,
15, 20 times to actually catch all of them. Because I was reading an article on Screen Rant after I saw it. It was like, all the Easter eggs. And I was like, holy shit, I missed that. But there were so many others that I saw that they didn't mention. So I'm like, that's how many freaking Easter eggs there are.
It's just loitered.
It is, but it fits perfectly.
Sorry.
Like it all fits. It's all fluid. Like, it's never like in your face. Like, this is a reference. For instance, it's a video game. They go in the Oasis. It's basically a video game, a massive multiplayer online video game. And there's a place called
the Oasis,
Doom or Dune or something like that, where there's just big battles take place on the battlefield.
Sounds like a place I'd like to be.
And
is it set up like Halo?
And there's a moment where somebody they like go through their menu and they're like, we're gonna pull out this gun, and they pull out the fucking saw from Gears of War.
Oh, dude, that's badass.
But they don't like make it all flashy. It's like they pull out the saw and it gets shot out of their hands. So it's just like that quickly. The references are that fast. It's just awesome. But anyways, the story, like I said, I do realize it's based off of a book. I haven't read it, but the overarching story is simple. It's just a simple adventure quest. Like, that's all it is. It's very reminiscent of Spielberg films of like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he's going back to the roots.
Just kind of set in the future and less Nazis. Although the main villain's company IOI is very similar to Nazis in some ways. We'll say that.
Tiny little mustache.
But regardless, the adventure story with a little finding oneself aspect makes this a movie that isn't simply about special effects, but a very good-hearted, very Spielberg-y film. And that's what I think I like most about it, because you could tell it's a Spielberg film. And that's the best part of Spielberg films, is whenever you're like, this is something that he put his heart and soul into. There's the movies that he just makes, like War of the Worlds, where it's like, yeah, it's Spielberg, but he just didn't really care, it looks like.
There's some explosions.
But this is one, like, you're like, holy shit, like, this is a good movie because of...
I think he viewed it as a tribute to himself.
No, like, he even said in interviews, he was just kind of like, his staff, like, everybody working on the movie with him, they had to convince him to put in references to his movies. Like, he didn't want to put references from his own movies in there, so...
Yeah, he made damn near every meaningful movie in the 80s.
Basically, the special effects, holy shit, were just simply amazing. For me, special effects can make or break a film, just like music can. If special effects are horrible, a la Attack of the Clones, which I think is probably the worst special effects movie of the early 2000s. Big budget movie, I should say. The worst special effects big budget movie of the early 2000s. That kind of ruins that movie for me. Even though I really like that movie more than a lot of other people do, the special effects ruin it for me. Why what?
Why do you like that movie?
I like the love story aspect of it. I got a soft heart, man.
Gay?
But anyways, to the special effects, I was kind of worried because I heard that this movie is really about 85 to 95% CGI.
Wow.
It takes place in the Oasis most of the time.
Wow. Not even like anything, like no scene, or not scenes, sets.
No. I mean, it's
all
CGI.
like all G screen.
Yeah,
green screen.
No, not even green, dude. It's CGI. Like it's computer animated.
You have to be standing somewhere.
No, like they created them, and then it was like voice acting. I'm sure they did some motion capture, but motion capture is still different than green screening. But with that, anyways, there's only probably about out of a 2 hour and 40-minute movie, maybe.
Oh my god, it's that long.
Maybe no. Yeah, it's about 2 hour and 20 minutes. But maybe out of 2 hour and 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes of it is actually live action.
Wow.
So, I mean, that worried me a little bit, but I was blown away within the first few minutes.
You were like, this is okay.
I tell you this, if you go into that movie, and if you are a fan of pop culture, and a nerd, and a geek, and whatever
fan of this podcast,
you will love this movie within the first 5 minutes. You will sit there grinning ear to ear within the first 5 minutes because you will see so many references. It'll just be good-hearted fun. You'll be like, this is what you want. Being a nerd, this is what you want in a movie. So, I will say, again, amazing. The music, the score was created by Alan Silvestri. He's most known for the Back to the Future movies, Avengers, the movie Flight, and the upcoming Avengers Infinity War.
Yay.
As well as being director Robert Zemeckis' go-to guy. Now, he did a bang-up job with helping give the 80s pop culture feel to the movie. He really helped in that aspect, but it's kind of simple for him, being that he handled pretty much all of the music for the biggest movies of the 80s, like Back to the Future and any Robert Zemeckis film.
Yeah.
He handled the music for in the 80s and 90s, so it kind of was easy for him to grasp that feel. Unfortunately, while the music did fit, there wasn't anything overly special about it. I felt that someone like John Williams' skill could have handled Spielberg's vision better. But Spielberg and Williams have like that relationship where 98% of Spielberg's films have been scored by Williams. So not seeing him not utilizing him in this movie kind of was shocking to me. But again, I think my whole feel on this is just I was weirded out not hearing Williams' music on a Spielberg film. Yeah. Like, honestly, I'm not saying that Silvestri did a bad job. I just think that it could have been better, the music.
You broke you out of your mold.
Yeah. Now, it's pretty simple. Go see this movie. It's a fun time, and if you're older than 25 or a pop culture nerd, you will most likely get excited at all the different references and Easter eggs throughout the movie.
I'm glad you included me in that group.
It's funny that you say that, because when I was writing my review, because it's the end of my review, I'm like, if you're older than 25, because I was thinking 25-year-olds who were like experienced the 90s and stuff like that really are going to like this movie. But so are people who are just nerds, and I was like Colton's going to love this movie, but he's not 25. I should probably put, and if you're a pop culture fan, that's why I added that in there. I actually thought of you when I was typing it. So.
We're lovers.
Whoa.
On a sensual level.
So you saw A Quiet Place.
Yeah, let me fucking tell you about this movie. It's a good fucking movie. It really utilizes the ambient noises of everyday life that you don't even notice, because it focuses on silence. Like the whole movie's silent, except for the music and the ambient noise. So anytime you hear you hear it, and then they get. I don't want to spoil it for you, but they don't really have any real relevance. John
Krasinski.
I can't say that. It's phenomenal in the film. Looks really good with a beard.
How's Emily Blunt? She's the chick. She's the wife.
She's pretty good.
Is she? She's usually pretty good in movies. Like
she was pretty good.
I don't mind when I see Emily Blunt in a movie. I'm like, you know what? I want to watch it because I think she's a good actress.
And then paired up with Jim, I will say this is the only spoiler I give. At one point in time, I thought that movie was going to kill 2 kids. I was like, whoa. There's really no special effects outside of I don't want to spoil it, but outside of the beings, there's no real special effects. Everything's real
practical.
Yeah, there we go. Real practical. Takes place on a farm. Everything's silent. It's a good film. The acting was good. It really, the girl, the little, not the little girl, but the daughter, the middle child, is actually deaf in real life, so she taught the entire cast sign language.
Oh, wow.
Not fluent, but enough that it would look like it's sign language. And then, it's pretty good. Really see the whole family grow in the span of 3 days. Shit gets crazy in 3 days, too. Fucking nuts. And they have little timestamps there, too, so you can kind of follow. It's nice.
All right. That it for you?
Yeah. There's not much to say about it without spoiling the movie.
Yeah, that seems like one that you could spoil easily. Ready Player One, there's so much that you could just talk about because it's so great.
Because A Quiet Place, you've seen the commercials for it. It revolves around that mysterious thing that's killing anything that makes noise. I can't go into detail about that without spoiling.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's all I can say about it.
I remember seeing the trailers. It reminds me of something like an M. Night Shyamalan film. Is it very Shyamalan-ish?
Kind of, but no twist.
Oh, okay. What a twist. So
I will say that. There's no twist in it.
Damn. So the
open-ended ending, though.
Oh. Third movie that was seen, we actually both saw it not together, but we did both see it, was Blockers.
I think you mean Peacock? Blockers.
Yeah, the chicken blockers.
The nug blockers. Those fuckers.
From the moment I saw the first trailer, I knew that this was going to be something I had to watch. It really was.
Oh my God, this movie was beautiful.
I remember it was last year sometime. I remember seeing the trailer, and I literally on the Remote Control podcast, like on the podcast, I was like, I think Brian was still, part of it.
Yeah, no, he is not. He shall
and I was
not
like,
be named.
You guys got to watch this trailer. It looks hilarious. Now, I've never been somebody who's been a fan of John Cena.
That's because you can't see him ever.
I always thought he was just a cocky bastard. I never liked his persona on wrestling. He also got in right whenever I was getting out of wrestling, so...
Yeah, you couldn't see him to begin with.
And then,
it's a mess.
What do you do, the Marine or something like that?
Yeah, he did some sort of military movie, like all wrestlers do.
Yeah, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't think he did a good job in the movie. It was very bland and B-title type of movie. It wasn't
Intel
great.
was from WWE Studios.
Yeah. So I've never been a fan of his, but this movie, the trailer just looks so damn funny. I had to go see it. So the story of the film is spelled out.
And you immediately eat your words.
Yeah, the story of the film was spelled out in the trailers. 3 parents find out their daughters plan on losing their virginity on their senior prom night. And as any parent would...
minus me.
They go on a quest to stop this from happening. And shenanigans ensue. That's pretty much the gist of the movie. Obviously... The story isn't all complex, but the undertones of learning to let go, which are the parents, and becoming your own person and being who you are, the kids, are strong messages that anyone can learn from. The comedy aspect of this movie is fantastic, though, and John motherfucking Cena.
John Cena! Ba-ba-da-ba!
If it was not for him, the movie would not have been as good. I just don't think.
There's no man that could do a butt chug like Cena.
Exactly. And again, that's something they've showed in the trailers, the butt chug thing. But the trailers, you see the setup for it, but when you see it in the movie...
Yeah, no, he does I'm like 95% sure he actually chugs a beer through his ass.
And then it's just the continuation of it for 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
What happens after that is hilarious. But...
It was a good lighthearted film, story-wise.
It really was. Now,
the whole, everything else, though, was not lighthearted.
John Cena, his comedic timing was perfect.
Yes. This movie gave me hope for John Cena to actually have an acting career.
Yeah.
In comedies, at least.
Fucking Duke Nukem.
Yeah. I came to chew gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
The 3 girl actresses, they're strong. They were in their own right. They did fine. But it appears that they had the more serious moments of the movie, whereas the parents have nearly every laugh throughout the film. Every single laugh is because of the parents or parents
I think that's
involved.
because the age that the girls are, it would be awkward to laugh.
Yeah.
If they did anything like that, because it's they're underage.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of I can't laugh about that stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, the funniest shit is at the house of the dude's parents.
Yeah. That was beautiful. I was like, wait.
I didn't think they were going to show as much as they showed.
Yeah, not in theaters. Wait till we get an unrated version.
Oh, boy.
You're going to see bare ass and balls.
Well, you fucking saw it in the theater.
You're going to see cock and balls.
You saw cock and balls in the theater.
You're going to see more cock and balls. There's going to be 45 minutes added to the movie of just that dude helicopter dicking somewhere.
I will say this. The movie kind of made me realize that I'm either not a Leslie Mann fan or I've never really paid much attention to her in the past. Movies that I can remember, Leslie Mann being in. There's really only 2 besides this. One being Knocked Up, and the other one being Big Daddy.
She was the mom, right?
And what, Knocked Up?
No, in Blockers.
Yeah. But there's the only 2.
Yeah.
No, and This Is 40. She was in because that's the sequel, the unofficial sequel to Knocked Up was This Is 40. But she's just not funny. She
has that mom look that they try to pass on to think they're funny.
I just don't know what it is. There was something about her in this movie that I just annoyed the shit out of me.
I think it's because she had to play that kind of character.
But again, like I said, I was thinking back. Big Daddy, she's just an annoying bitch. Okay, so she sucks in that movie. Knocked Up, she's an annoying bitch. This Is 40, she's an annoying bitch. She's an annoying bitch in every fucking movie.
Well, that's the role she was born to play.
Yeah, but maybe. Or it's just she's gets anything because she's married to Judd Apatow, so
hey,
she just gets in anything because of that.
Hey, I'm married to John.
Look, all I say, overall, this film is funny. It's not for kids.
Oh, not by any goddamn
Not
means.
for kids, trust me, but a good time where parents and young adults can relate in some way. Check it out and let me know your thoughts of John Cena. I really want to know people's thoughts.
Can
on
you
him.
see him? Because I can't. Let us know in the comments below. Woo!
All right, so we're
like that post production edit there.
So we're gonna hop into some. Thank you. Another post edit, some news, and then we're gonna get into our main topic to continue our theme of
the
New beginnings. So again, Volume 1 of Bridging the Geekdoms podcast is New Beginnings. Issue 2 is Reboots and Remakes. That's this episode here, Reboots and Remakes. So we're gonna get
technically this is a reboot.
Technically, that's kind of why I thought it was a good idea. You know. So, comics-wise, Dead Leap Issue 1. That is a comic book created completely by our buddy Deej Penhollow. Jesus, I can't talk. From Nerdtalkalypse.
I'm going to say it again. We should definitely get him on the show.
No shit. I want to get him on the show.
But why isn't he here?
I don't know. Okay. Anyways, as soon as I read this comic, I'm going to
read the comic.
I'm going to talk the shit about it. I think everybody should get it.
We should get him on for an interview.
Yeah, definitely.
Did he write? I knew he drew it. Did he write it?
I believe so. I don't know if he did the art. I mean, he may have.
Did he do the art? I thought he did. I thought he did art.
I don't know. We'll find out what he did. We'll get him on the show and talk about it.
We'll interview him.
Yeah. You hear that, Deej? Have your people get a hold of my people.
Hey, Deej, I'm right here. Email me at beefbarling@gmail.com.
You're going to get a whole bunch of damn email from people.
Fucking let's do it. I'll email everybody back. I don't give a shit. beefbarling@gmail.com. Fucking email me. You'll get a personal reply back.
Did you get to save the date?
For what?
For Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle's
wedding. Shit. No, I didn't. Fucking slut.
Oh, that sucks, dude.
I had an affair with her on her last marriage, though.
Man. Well, Bruce Wayne and Selena Kyle are getting married in issue 50 of Batman. The two will be getting hitched. The issue comes out on July 4th. So that's a couple months away, but they're getting married, it looks like. The cover art looks kind of cool. It's Bruce Wayne. He's sitting there in a tux in the mirror, looking in a mirror, like fixing his tie. And the mirror, the reflection is Batman.
Fixing his cowl.
And then you have Catwoman, in her dress, looking in a mirror, and it's Catwoman in the reflection. It's pretty cool looking. I like it.
It's nice that they're finally getting married.
Yeah,
they were perfect for each other.
Perfect.
Get it? I was waiting for you to do it.
Action Comics 1000 comes out April 14th. That is this week, or is it April 14th?
That's 5 days from now.
Or maybe it's next week. Maybe it's not April 14th. I could be wrong. I thought it was 14th. Maybe it's Amazon is coming out on 14th. Anyways, because it just doesn't seem right coming out on a Saturday. Normally comics come out on a, Tuesday or Wednesday? That doesn't make sense.
Sundays.
I don't know. Anyways, who the fuck cares? It's coming out within the next week. I know that much. Need to get it. It's going to be a collector's item. If you don't have a pre-order, that's probably going to be the only way that you can get it is pre-ordering it.
So what you're telling me is I got to pre-order it?
Probably. I'm waiting until I get paid this week and pre-ordering it. But you need to pre-order it because it's going to be... This is the first comic book to go 1,000 issues. Like...
Whoa. I got 99 problems, but if it hit one, hit me.
And then later in the year, I think it's later in this year. I don't think it's next year. Detective Comics 1000.
Oh yeah, that's
will
right.
Be out. So they're definitely gonna be collector items. And Action Comics 1000 actually has a bunch of short stories of Superman in it. And I'm really looking forward to Brad Meltzer. He did a story. It's only about like a 3, 4, 5 page story.
So is it going to be like how big is it going to be? I guess thick?
40, 50 pages, something like that.
Oh, so like that thick.
Yeah, it's not crazy, but it could be more than that. I don't know. But all I know is Brad Meltzer wrote something. Brad Meltzer, if you don't know who he is, he's a pretty esteemed writer. He's had a few shows on like History Channel and stuff like that.
He prefers his vegetables esteemed as well.
He is a huge nerd, and I think he's an excellent person to. He's done comics. He did Green Arrow. I think he did a Green Arrow comic for a while back in the early 2000s. So he's versed in comics and stuff like that. He's a great guy. So that's kind of the biggest reason why I want to read it is because of his work. But
I want to read you.
I know Jeff Johns has a story arc in there, and some other big time DC writers have stories in it. So
we should make a comic. Or at least a short story.
Because, we have time to do that with everything else we do.
Hey, you know what? Hey, we can start a Google Doc. Work on it while we can.
We could.
Proofread each other's shit. Throw out a 50-page short story and sell it.
In television, Legion Season 2 premiered this past week.
How'd you feel about it?
Trippy as fuck, dude.
Nice. LSD trippy or scary trippy?
LSD trippy. It just continues the trippiness of the first season, and it leaves you asking a lot of questions, like what the fuck happened, because there's literally a year of time that is from last season to this season that they skip, and you're trying to figure out like what the fuck happened in this past year. So that's kind of what's going on there.
Oh, come on, man. Why do you gotta do this to me? Hey, you guys ready for it? This is the first Bridging the Geekdom Open. I just stone cold the shit out of it.
So, anyways, Legion Season 2, it's on Tuesdays? Yeah, I think it's Tuesdays.
Is it Wednesdays? Wednesdays.
Maybe it's Wednesdays.
I don't fucking know. Don't take my word.
It's on a weekday of the week. So check it out if you haven't.
It's the second Tuesday of next week.
I watched Gotham last week because I was real excited. Because I was
isn't Joker on that? It's starting to
All right. So this is going to be a little spoiler here.
Spoiler alert.
So the past few years, Jerome has been like the guy that they've been hinting to being the Joker. He got the scars, he's got everything, the look, the laugh, the persona of being the Joker.
The big pangus.
So this past week's episode, or actually the past couple episodes, he's been trying to find something or somebody. And you're like, who the hell is he trying to find? Like, what is he trying to find? Well, it's discovered in this episode that he is looking for his twin brother.
Whoa.
So he finds his twin brother. His twin brother is the complete opposite of Jerome. All right,
he's Batman.
No. Damn.
I'm not wrong.
No, he's kind of like the complete opposite of Jerome. And Jerome wants to kill him because it was his twin brother who ran away.
Who ate their triplet
he ran away. He ran out on him. He ran away from him and everything like that. Because Jerome, when he was a kid, he was showing all these signs of being basically a sociopath, exactly. And his brother just had to get away. Jeremiah is his name, I think. So he just had to get away. So he gets out of there. So for the past 20 years, he's been looking for his brother. So his idea is he's going to kill him. Jerome's going to kill his brother. Well, obviously, it doesn't happen in the show, and he gets away. Everybody gets away.
He got that plot armor for later on in the series.
Exactly. But what's interesting is the possibility that it's the twin brother who might become the Joker.
That's crazy.
Which could be a huge fucking twist. And the great thing about it is it's the same actor, so we still get the good performance, but it's just a different character. It's fucking weird. But I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it, even though I really like Jerome and what they've done with him so far. Like, they're leading up to him using almost like the Joker gas, the laugh gas that he uses on victims, and they start laughing and get a big smile, and they just die, because of it. Like, like that's what they're leading to. So people are thinking and speculating that the gas or some form of the gas will be utilized on his brother, and that's what will turn him crazy and become the Joker, and Jerome will actually be killed. Because the one thing that the showrunners have said for a while is we may never see the Joker, but we will see inspirations for the Joker moving forward. And I don't know if that's changed because they said that a couple years ago. Who knows if it's changed because the fan outcry is like, we want the Joker, we want the Joker.
Well, I mean,
that's what we want.
There's no reason you couldn't lead up a character to
exactly
potentially be the Joker.
And that's what they've done with a lot of the other characters, like Penguin and Riddler.
Yeah, you could see the character before they're the character.
And that's what the show's been. We know we now know why the Penguin is like he is. We know why the Riddler is like he is. We know Mr. Freeze. We know the Scarecrow, which is he is so badass on this show.
Scarecrow is my favorite Batman villain.
Watch the past couple episodes because Scarecrow is badass. Like just his look is phenomenal. Like
I'm gonna look him up now.
It's literally movie quality look, in my opinion.
Here, keep stalling. I'm looking him up.
Okay. So anyways, that was Gotham. Excellent show. Can't wait to see where the rest of the season is going. Unfortunately, they haven't been renewed yet for next season, unfortunately.
That's odd.
But again, it's not like they probably will get renewed. Speaking of renewals, CW has renewed all of their superhero shows. No surprise there.
I can get behind that.
And
I'm talking about the Scarecrow, of course.
And with other news when it comes to CW superhero shows, Colton Haynes, who played Arsenal on Arrow is returning as a series regular next season.
I saw that and it kind of caught me off guard because I was like, I didn't get a notification for you tagging me in something.
Anyways,
don't worry, I'll fuck myself, okay?
So yeah, he's going to be returning, which is really bizarre because the whole idea that happened 2 weeks ago, the whole story arc was that Thea, who is Oliver's sister, Thea Queen, she leaves Star City. She's done. She's getting away from that life because she just can't do it anymore. And she leaves with her boyfriend, who is played by Colton Haynes, and they leave together, and with the thought that we're never coming back. Well, we know that the chick who plays Thea Queen is not coming back. She's off the show. She's done. She's left the show for good. So how is he going to come back and her not? So
maybe she died.
Maybe. Who knows?
Or they just fill the character with someone else.
They'll find a way to get it done. But I just thought that was interesting. I do like seeing Arsenal come back. I really liked him as a character. And with how the divide has happened with Team Arrow and everything like that, it'll be nice to get somebody in there again. Bringing in Arsenal, I've always liked him as a character. So Roy Harper is his name. I couldn't remember his name for the long. So
Roy Harper.
So that's that. Movies might get a final trailer for Jurassic Fallen Kingdom with Avengers Infinity War. There was a trailer that was classified. So
that would make sense. Doesn't it come out in like June or something?
June or July. I think July.
That makes sense.
But honestly, I'm still not looking forward to that movie.
You know you're going to see it, though.
I'm going to see it. I'm just not looking forward to it. I mean, I got Movie Pass.
Exactly.
So
there's another $17. Thank you, Movie Pass. Oh, another 17. We're up to 34 already.
So Disney confirms Toy Story 4 to release June 21st, 2019.
Do we need a fourth one?
Thank you for asking that, because I don't think we do.
I think they were good after the second one.
I
didn't even really care for the second one.
The third one I wasn't a big fan of. The second one wasn't bad.
But was it needed?
No, the first one is
the first one hands down is the best.
It is the best, and it's a near perfect animated film.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they're continuing. I mean, I understand why they're continuing because it makes money, but it's
like the Cars treatment.
How did we get 3 or 2 more Toy Stories before we even got into a second Incredibles? Which Incredibles is far better than Toy Story 2 or Toy Story 3.
Or the fact that Andy left them. Spoiler, sorry.
He did. He left them at the end of 3.
He left them, so where are you going to go with the story?
Yeah.
Like, his sister's too old for it.
But his sister isn't there for him. Like, they're not in the Andy household anymore, so...
Yeah, like, I
don't know.
Garbage.
Tim Miller's Terminator sequel is getting pushed back 4 months to November 2019, which kind of makes sense since Arnold Schwarzenegger just went through heart surgery, so...
Nah, he could do it. It's Arnold motherfucking Schwarzenegger.
Arnold motherfucking Schwarzenegger.
He got to the job.
Star Wars news. Did you guys see the new trailer for Solo?
Oh my god, that was beautiful.
Was a good trailer.
Yeah, too bad we'll talk about it more on Star Wars
We will definitely talk more about it on Star Wars Talk.
Because that's making a motherfucking return this week.
Thursday. It's coming out Thursday, so...
Oh, Thursday?
Yeah. I want it out on Thursdays.
I'll put you out on Thursdays.
Please. I loved the trailer. I thought it was excellent. Every trailer's got me more and more excited for this movie.
So, no stranger, I host it, and I also do, most of the stuff for it. After looking into it, I'm actually really intrigued with this movie.
Yeah.
Because there's like a whole bunch of behind the scenes stuff.
Oh, really? Well, we'll talk about it on
you can see it. It's right there. I have a topic about it.
But check out the trailer if you haven't. I know a lot of people have been on the fence for it. The music I thought was fantastic in the trailer. Really just a different feel.
I will say this. For anybody that saw the trailer, does Chewbacca die?
Dead.
There was someone raising that serious question.
I know, I saw that.
I was like, what?
Are you really? You realize that he's in like 5 more movies after this, right?
Yeah, like, he's still alive. So,
oh boy. But no, like then he's like, there's a scene in the trailer where he's hugging another Wookiee. Is that his wife? Is that like a kid? Is it a parent?
Is it Is it Lobaka from Legends?
I mean, who is it? Like that excites me that we're gonna see
another
Wookiees, interacting, because even in like Revenge of the Sith, but we didn't see them really interacting.
Yeah, you see them dying.
Essentially, yeah, that's basically all you see. But
thinking about that battle, let's throw a bunch of dogs at a bunch of droids and see what happens.
I mean, how's it any different than Ewoks?
Yeah, like, let's throw some, like, the bear on those, like, dryer sheets. Let's throw a bunch of them.
Snuggle.
Yeah,
Snuggles.
Let's throw a bunch of those and some stormtroopers and see what the fuck happens.
Snuggle. No, next time I watch Return of the Jedi, I'm just going to think of Snuggles.
Fucking try watching Return of the Sith, or Revenge of the Sith, and fucking watch a bunch of dogs fight some droids for about 5 minutes. You just hear them. I can't do Chewbacca noise or Wookiee noise. And they charge in. You're like, damn, they're just some aggressive. Just watch a bunch of fucking dogs stand up on their back legs and just bite droids and shit. You're like, damn, you's a good boy.
Comic book movies.
I might be a little drunk.
Woody Harrelson seems to be playing Cletus Cassidy in the Venom movie. Now, if you don't know who Cletus Cassidy is, he's
a yeehaw kind of motherfucker.
Also known as Carnage.
Oh, he's playing Carnage. That's a pick. That's a pick I wouldn't make. I do like Woody Harrelson though.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to be a role for him.
If he pulls his character from Natural Born Killers,
yeah,
maybe. But
but is Carnage going to get about as much screen time as Venom?
Which is 6.5 seconds.
Exactly. Like,
who knows? Here's the thing. Look.
They're getting a Spider-Man 3 treatment.
You gotta remember this. What did I say? How can you have a Venom film without, like, a real villain? And who did I say is basically Venom's villain? Is Carnage. So they're fucking doing it. So I'm gonna have to start giving it a little more thought and, like, you know what, this might actually be a decent film.
It's not gonna. It's gonna be C+, B- at best.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. I like the actors that are in this movie, so it's going to be upsetting if it's not good.
Yeah. It's going to be weird when they get reintroduced into the MCU.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, no, sorry.
On DC side of news, Flash movie...
Wait. Who do you think is going to die in Infinity War?
We've talked about this like
Are you Team Cap?
Times.
Are you Team Cap or Team...
Are you asking me who I want to see die or who I think is going to die?
Who do you want to see die?
Who do I want to see die is Iron Man.
Okay, who do you think's gonna die?
Steve Rogers.
I don't think Steve Rogers is gonna die yet.
Okay. Anyways.
Okay, I'm glad we fucking talked about that. I'll be over here fucking myself.
DC news. It seems that the Flash movie may not be titled Flashpoint after all. It seems that Flashpoint may be adapted, albeit loosely, for the first Flash film, but won't necessarily be titled Flashpoint.
So it's gonna be Flashpoint, but not Flashpoint.
Yeah, I mean...
Flashpoint, but lesser degree Flashpoint.
They could do it really smartly by saying, okay, we know what the overall aspect of Flashpoint is the idea of Barry Allen's mother dying at the hands of the Reverse Flash. Mm-hmm. Okay? That is the overall story. That's why Barry, he's down on his luck. He feels depressed. He feels like nobody's there for him. He just starts running. He's running. And the thing with the Flash is, when he travels through time, he goes to the place that he's currently thinking of. So he goes back in time to that moment where his mother is killed, and he has a decision to make. Does he save her, or does he let her die? So he decides to save her, and that's what creates Flashpoint. What I think would be cool is to have the first aspect of it, seeing him as a little boy, seeing, finding out his mother dies, him becoming the Flash, and before the movie ends, that's when he's running, and it ends. So then the second movie could be Flashpoint,
with a more developed universe,
or even after the second, or at the end, he runs and he saves his mother. He wakes up and like everything's fine, but it's a cliffhanger, and then Flashpoint is the next movie. Like that's how I think it would be better.
And then you still could have time to develop your universe,
especially the Reverse Flash. They need to
just give them a movie.
You can't throw Reverse Flash into a Flashpoint movie without showing that Reverse Flash is his arch nemesis.
Is essentially him, but reversed.
But
I'm not wrong.
That's when comics was just like, hey, here's a villain. Let's just do the same thing, just bad. Malcolm Merlyn, same thing as the Green Arrow, just bad.
Yeah.
Like the only original person to do anything was Batman. Or like, who's going to be his arch nemesis? How about a clown? Because bats are afraid of clowns, right?
Because everybody's fucking afraid of clowns.
But honestly, like that's every superhero.
If you're not afraid of clowns,
you look at Iron Man, Ironmonger, and Whiplash are basically Iron Man clones. And
Captain America and Nazis.
Red Skull was kind of an overpowered being, so you really have these characters that like had the same abilities, just
to a lesser degree.
Evil.
Yeah.
And it's always in the movies and sometimes even in the comics, it's always that they overcome it because of the hope and the goodness in them. That's how they overcome the villain.
Bullshit.
So
let's watch Thanos stomp a mud hole in everybody's asses.
yes.
Please give me, okay, companies, I know you're not listening, but I'm going to yell at you anyway. Give me a movie where the villain wins. Like solidly wins. Like, Thanos actually kills everybody. Like, give me that movie. Not necessarily Thanos, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, we're going to jump to some Marvel stuff. Real quick, there wasn't much news, but there was something really cool that a fan made. A fan made some pictures of casting the Fantastic Four in the MCU.
God, I saw that.
John Krasinski as Reed Richards.
My boy.
Emily Blunt as Sue Storm. Zac Efron as Johnny Storm. John Cena as Ben Grimm or The Thing. And then Mads Mikkelsen as Victor Von Doom. I am fucking awesome with that casting.
I can get behind it.
I know it's all fan casting and it's probably never going to happen, but...
Don't ever say that.
That's
some of them may have the price tag for it.
Yeah, maybe.
Especially since it could be Disney buying it. About, like, casting it, I guess. I should say better.
Maybe.
So, how are you doing, Bob? How's your life?
Pretty good, actually.
That's good. I'm glad you're filling up.
Yeah, me too.
So, how were all your days? I don't feel like we talk to you guys enough about your days. How's your days? Because I'm about to make an ass out of myself in this new segment, well, kind of old segment we have leading up to Infinity War called The Journey to Infinity War, where Colt makes an ass out of himself.
So this week, we've talked about all of the Marvel movies leading up to Infinity War with the exception of 3 movies. We got 3 more to cover before Infinity War comes out. Spider-Man Homecoming.
Okay.
Thor Ragnarok is next week.
Okay.
And then Black Panther is the week after.
All right.
Which is the Monday, Tuesday before
Excuse me.
Infinity War comes out.
All right.
So real quickly, the music is the Avengers made and
by the Avengers for
Alan
the Avengers.
Silvestri, which was from the first Avengers movie. Which, real quickly, I want to say this. We did a podcast, an episode a while ago where we were talking about music and movies. And my biggest complaint with the Marvel Universe was that they just did not utilize their music, the Avengers theme, more often, especially in the second and Age of Ultron and stuff like that. Like, they just didn't use it. Like, it's something that they should be using to really, this is the Avengers. They brought Alan Silvestri back for Infinity War.
So we're going to hear it like every other
So
step.
we're going to finally fucking hear I love this theme. I think it's a good theme, but you can even tell in the marketing they're using it more.
They're finally listening.
To us, to me. They've listened, they were like, you know what, that Robert Slavinsky kid's pretty smart.
Yeah. Him and his perky man breasts, maybe he's throwing out some good ideas. We gonna listen to him, but we're not gonna pay him because that's how marketing works.
So, Spider-Man Homecoming, tell us all about it.
Oh, fuck, I thought it was Thor. I was ready for Thor.
Thor is next week.
So, Tom Holland, who is this installment's Batman, fucking Christ, Spider-Man, he doesn't... Does he get bit by a spider in the movie? I don't think he does. He kind of just has, these web-slinging things on his wrist. And he has this really corny-ass, Spider-Man suit. And Robert Downey Jr. is like, yo, my guy. I see you out here doing shit. But, not like that. But because, he's in high school and he's, doing the struggles of high school life. Not being popular. Falling in love with Zendaya, but not really. Because it's the other girl. Zendaya was weird in that movie. She didn't look like herself. Anyway,
See, I'm really weirded out by the whole Zendaya thing because she plays a high school kid in Homecoming, but she's an adult in The Greatest Showman, and she's really hot in The Greatest Showman.
How old is she though?
She's an adult in in real life. I don't know. I know she's in her 20s, but
well, fucking fine with me. I don't care.
It still feels weird. All right,
I can get behind it still. So, where was I at? Oh, so he gets that love interest, and he's doing some Spider-Man shit, and he's finally, getting the attention.
Doing some Spider-Man shit.
This is challenging, so, I drank 2 or 3 beers in a lot of time. But, So he's doing Spider-Man shit. Robert Downey Jr. is like, hey, my man, I appreciate you. And he gives him, like, the really good suit. And they go to, like, Washington, D.C., and the Vulture's getting poo-poo on his pee-pee. Was it the Vulture? I don't think it was the Vulture. Some shit happened in D.C., and he saves the kids, and there's a spelling bee tournament. No, it's not a spelling bee tournament. It's a scholastic tournament.
Spelling bee.
So, I'm sure they had to spell it there or some shit. So, yeah. They do that. He saves them. Vulture, he's like, goes to this house party. And, yeah. Some shit happens in between. You know what I'm saying. It's a summary. So yeah, house party. He finds out like that girl that like he's like, ooh, she's the hot nerd, but like I don't know if I can say that because I don't know if she's over 18. So, yeah, he finds out that her dad's the Vulture when they go to prom. And he's like, don't you fucking lay a hand on her. I knew you were familiar, boy. It's part of the mouth you got. You know back when what vultures do, they done pick at your lips. And so they go and fight this warehouse thing, and the warehouse collapses down on Spider-Man. You get a really cool like comic book scene when he like picks up all the debris off of himself and he fucks up Vulture, gets poo-poo on his pee-pee. And then he gets offered the Iron Spider suit, but doesn't take it because he chooses to be responsible.
I mean, I can't do any better than that, so...
Yeah, that's a really good fucking summary. Maybe I should get drunk and summarize Marvel films more often.
I mean, the overall story of Spider-Man Homecoming was...
it was a coming-of-age tale.
Coming-of-age tale. It was, basically, if you are not good without the suit...
You can't have the suit.
Which was... And here's the thing, like I said, this made me appreciate Iron Man 3 more... Mm-hmm. Because Iron Man 3, that's what the concept and that's what the story was of Iron Man 3. Tony Stark had to be Iron Man without being Iron Man to succeed in Iron Man 3.
You're Iron Man.
So it was interesting that he was the one teaching that lesson to Spider-Man. So, I kind of like that. And his whole thing was like, I want you to be better than me. I don't want you to be as good as me. I want you to be better than me.
Which we may see in Infinity War.
We could. So, yeah, I mean, it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. I know that there's a lot of issues. People still have a lot of issues with it, more so than I ever realized. Mm-hmm. But that was a good movie.
We saw it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Post-credit scene was cool. We saw Scorpion and stuff.
And, yeah, Shocker was in it. And
yeah,
stuff.
Shocker.
All right, so... Continuing our theme of new beginnings, what we wanted to do with this this issue was talk about movies that have been rebooted or remade, which was basically giving them new beginnings. We're not going to sit here and give you a list of anything. We're just going to bullshit. We're just going to talk
as I pull out the list.
I mean, I have a list of movies here, but let me ask you a question. What makes a good reboot in your opinion?
See, I watch a lot of horror films, and that's basically the entire horror genre at this point.
So what is your favorite horror remake?
Of all time or of recently?
Of all time.
Boy, I don't know. I'll probably have to go Poltergeist.
Really? So you really like the remake of Poltergeist?
Yeah. It stays true to the original.
Really? I haven't seen the remake of Poltergeist. No, I saw the original. But the original to me is one of those Spielberg films. It's just like
you don't touch it.
Like don't touch.
See, that's how I thought. That's how I felt, and I saw it. It's like they just kind of modernized it a little bit, mm-hmm. and it's literally the same as the first one or as the original one.
So you would say it's worth a watch. Like if I liked the original, I should.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I would say it.
Interesting.
See, that's probably my favorite. Like I got the Friday the 13th,
which was horrible, dude.
Halloween.
Halloween was fantastic. Rob Zombie's Halloween, the first one.
See, my list here is always like the new ones that came out.
Yeah,
but like I like the original, like Friday 13th, Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, all the remakes. Horrible. All the remakes. That's because they have the sentimental value.
No, that's why I like them. No. Look. Nightmare on Elm Street, that remake, all right, with Robert Earl Haley, whatever his name is. It was just a poorly made film. I liked the aspect of really giving us the story of Freddy Krueger, giving us that moment where he's
scary Terry.
Like when you see it happen, like that was something that you didn't see in the original Nightmare on Elm Street. But here's my thing. The jump scares. Get them out of the fucking movie. That's
what's been plaguing the horror genre as well.
The one scene that sticks out to me in the remake of Nightmare on Elm Street is it's the moment where what's her face is dreaming and she's in the house and she runs into a closet. All right, and she's hiding in the closet, and
with R. Kelly. R. Kelly's next to her.
And you think that the idea is that Freddy Krueger's coming for her outside of the closet, and she's standing there and her breathing, and it gets real quiet, and all of a sudden, out of the shadow on the other side of the closet, his face pops out and he goes, "Boo!" Like that's what the fuck is that? Like that's not scary. It's not funny in the sense that it's funny. It's funny in the sense that you guys fucked up.
It's jump scares are just a poor excuse for lazy writing. Yeah, that's all it is in horror movies. You don't want to write a good script, throw in 72,000 jump scares. You'll get people to be scared.
Which is why I'm not a big fan of horror films.
And that's why I try to stay away from them more modern ones. Like Paranormal Activity had some jump scares, but don't get me wrong. But the overlying story between the first four is fucking amazing.
But see, like for me, to me, that is my favorite horror franchise. Like to me, the Paranormal Activity, and people laugh at me all the time about it. But
because they're not really that scary. Yeah, but like the story's good.
The story's great, but for me, it is scary. Like for me, because I believe in that stuff so deeply, and so like that shit in real life freaks me out. Like if I'm at home alone and I hear a noise, I'm like, oh fuck, it's here to get me. That's
hello darkness, my old friend.
But that's because I believe in the demons and those types of things. So Paranormal Activity, like that hit home for me. That was like, you know what, you're afraid of this shit? Good, because we're gonna scare the shit out of you. And that's what those, at least the first two really did for me, is really scare the shit out of me.
The third one got crazy. Fourth one was like, okay, we're bringing it back in. Fifth one had nothing to fucking do with anything.
So, like that was, okay, awesome. But when you're taking a movie, I asked the question, what do you think makes a good reboot or remake? You take a look at what Rob Zombie did with Halloween. All right, Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, fantastic. When I was a kid, I loved that movie. I watched all of the Halloween films when I was a kid because I was just enthralled with Mike Myers
with the universe
and the universe, and I was just like, this is crazy,
How is this man just killing people?
Exactly.
Like, why is no one stopping him?
Why is nobody just leaving town? Why do they keep running upstairs?
Why where are the cops? Exactly. Did he get them first?
So, but as a kid, like, I loved those movies, and I was a big horror fan when I was younger, but I think it's because I was such a big horror fan when I was younger, like, as I became an adult and I started watching, I was like, wow, these are fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But the first Halloween, the remake of Halloween, when I saw that, and Rob Zombie was making it, I think at the time he only made 2 movies prior, which was House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil Rejects. Loved Devil's Rejects, hated House of a Thousand Corpses. Really? But I sat there and was like, you know what? This could be his redemption, from that House of a Thousand Corpses issue. Like I said, I liked Devil's Rejects, but I didn't think it did enough for me to be like, oh, he's going to be an awesome filmmaker. So I was like, Halloween, this is going to be damn good. But the reason why it was good, for me, is because he not only expanded the story of Mike Myers and who he is and why he's doing what he's doing. Not only did he do that, but he was able to stay true
to the original.
The original. There's so much that, was not a shot for shot, from the original, but scene for scene, essentially. There were scenes that were just like, hey, that was in the original, and that was a good scene, and you just made it better.
Yeah.
The only thing that I don't like a lot of times in new horror films, and I mean, who doesn't like seeing a pair of boobs flying around all the time? But there's always so much nudity. Like, what is the point of always having so much nudity in these horror films?
I think it's to portray the, he caught me off guard.
Yeah, I mean...
But I'm always off guard in the shower, or some shit like that. Oh, we're fucking in a car, I'm off guard.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get it. It's the purity, of somebody being completely nude and, and vulnerable. Yeah. That's kind of the idea behind it. I get that, but...
It's just so outplayed now that you're not getting your point across anymore.
Like, you take a look back at Psycho. Like, that's the first movie that was really like, holy shit, they just killed somebody in a shower. Like, you know, what the hell? You know, she was nude, but you didn't see it.
Yeah.
You know, but then it goes on and you start to see all these...
Now you're like seeing full bush and butthole and stuff. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Like human centipede type weird.
But again, I think that when you talk about remakes, you know, it's about staying true to the original, but expanding on it.
Yeah.
There has to be a reason why you're making it. And that's why, like, A Nightmare on Elm Street could have been good if they just didn't do those fucking jump scares and this stupid...
Closet scene.
And plus, he was pretty horrible looking as Freddy Krueger. Like, he was no Robert Englund.
I mean, those are big shoes to fill.
True. Friday the 13th, horrible. Like, the remake... Friday the 13th is probably the easiest horror film to remake. And that is one where you have to rely on jump scares.
Yeah.
And I completely get that. You know, that's a jump scare movie. But
They didn't.
How did they fuck it up? Like, I just don't get it.
It takes real talent, man. Real talent.
I mean, it's a simple concept. You have a bunch of teenagers in a cabin in the woods. They have no way to contact anybody outside.
They all fucking... It's...
Like, it's not hard. Like, Cabin in the Woods, if you saw that movie, it's essentially the same damn movie, just better.
Yeah.
Even though it gets kind of crazy at the end, but it's still... The beginning horror aspect of it is just damn good. But, yeah. Anyways,
there was a lot on here that I didn't know were remakes.
You know, we're going to get off a little horror here. We can go back to it at any point. But I want to talk about kind of some of the ones that people don't know or think of are remakes. And there's an Ashton Kutcher movie that came out in the mid-2000s with Bernie Mac called Guess Who? All right? It was a remake of a movie called Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Sidney Poitier. I can't say his name because I'm weird. Anyways, so... The difference is, here's the thing. So it was like, why did that need to be remade? Because that movie was made back in the 60s, I think.
Yeah.
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? It's a good movie. I've seen it. You know, it's a funny movie for the time. The whole concept of it, the original, is a white family, a white girl brings home Sidney Poitier, you know, who's a black man. And it's like, they can't, it's the racism thing, you know?
Which was cool in the 60s.
We're gonna move past what you just said.
60s were a different time. That's all
it wasn't
I'm saying.
Cool. It was, but
it was a thing. That's what I'm saying.
But it wasn't cool.
Sorry, it was inappropriate.
But that's the thing. The idea of it back in that time was very different. Was very, you know, like a white person dating a black person. Whoa, like that. It was crazy back then.
Crazy.
So with the remake of Guess Who with Ashton Kutcher, Bernie Mac, they swapped the roles. So it was a black woman bringing home a white guy. I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed the idea behind it. They, again, stayed true to the original, but made it different and more and they made it relevant for today. You know, and again, it's a sign of a decent remake. I'm not going to say it's the greatest movie ever made, but it's a good comedy. You know, I enjoyed it. Karate Kid.
Yeah, I knew that. Come on.
I mean, the original, amazing. You know, just a good, fun movie. I'm not going to say it's amazing, but I mean, it is. It's a good, fun movie.
Yeah, totally cheated in the end.
The remake, not so much.
Yeah,
they completely changed, you know, almost the entire idea of the movie.
Damn it. I can't think of his name.
Jaden Smith or
Smith.
Jackie Chan?
Jaden Smith, damn it, with your hipster ways.
Yeah, I mean, that was, again, the race change didn't bother me. What bothered me was moving it from America to China. Like, that to me, that took away from what made the original so interesting. Because then, in the original, the second Karate Kid does go to China, you know, but... They just skipped the first one. That was after they established these characters. Mm-hmm. Here, it just didn't feel the same to me. But again, I know there are a lot of people that like it. I just didn't think it was a good remake. I don't know. What do you got, man?
I don't know. I thought you only had two there.
I have a whole bunch.
I thought you were going on. Let me pick a good one here. I read up on one of these, and I gotta find it because Nicole actually she wanted me to talk about it because. She knew it was a remake. I didn't. Oh, 13 Ghosts. 13 Ghosts.
See, I didn't know that was a remake.
Yeah. It's the original name, 13 Ghosts, just spelled differently. 13 Ghosts in 1960 was spelled with the numbers
13 Ghosts in 2001 was spelled out 13 Ghosts.
It was spelled THIR 13EN. I spelled it wrong in my notes. Because I looked at that and I was like, yep, fuck that. I'm spelling it this way. But yeah, no, I didn't know that was a remake either until she actually was talking about it.
I mean, and it wasn't a bad movie.
No.
Here's the thing, though. I have nothing to base it off because I've never seen the original. Like, if I would have seen the original, I could say, okay, it's a good movie, bad movie. But
I'm sure it's just kind of like the same, like the original, but updated graphics.
Exactly, just updated, you know. So what wasn't the big, like, villain in 13 Ghosts called Jigsaw or something like that?
Cyrus.
Cyrus, okay.
I know, I had to do research.
And it wasn't confusing with Saw. Like, I know that there's another villain in some horror movie named Jigsaw. I do know that for a fact. I could be wrong, but maybe not.
The Crazies, I didn't know that was a remake either.
Really? I didn't know that.
It was...
I didn't watch all that because I got bored with it.
Yeah, no, it's a rough one. The new one was a rough one. Yeah. The original wasn't awful. I liked it. The Amityville Horror.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know that that's a remake?
Yeah, I think it's been remade like 47 times.
Yeah.
But the Ryan Reynolds one is the one you're talking about, right? The remake for that?
Whatever one came out in 2005, that was my favorite. Yeah, that was
Ryan Reynolds. So I didn't think it was bad.
No, it was a good one.
It was decent. Again, it's the supernatural. So the things that are supernatural, I'm drawn to. Like, if it's a horror film, supernatural, I will probably check it out. But again, I'm not going to sit there. I'd say I wasn't a big fan of the original Amityville Horror. This one, I kind of felt the same. So, like, for me, I wasn't kind of like, it's so much better. It's not great. It's just like, meh, you know. It was worth one watch. Yeah. You know, I got to see some boobies. What the hell? Go from there.
Carrie.
Yes, Carrie.
The Stephen King book.
Yeah.
Which was a film like 4 other times.
Yeah. The remake with, what's her face? What's her name?
The one that came out like a couple years ago.
Hit Girl. I can't remember who plays Hit Girl. Anyways, yeah, she. I liked it.
It was a real good film. I picked it up in FYE one time or the other day.
I really enjoyed it. You know, it's funny that you're sitting here talking about horror films. I'm like, I'm not a big horror fan, and I'm like,
and you're like, I like this one. I like this one. Hypocrite.
Was like Mickey Mouse there? That's what you definitely sounded like Mickey Mouse.
Oh, I put it on here twice. See, got 13 ghosts, and then I spelled it right. Wait, where is it at?
Look at you.
I spelled it right that way.
I'm going to jump to this one here that you have on your list. Ocean's 11. Ocean's 11. Now, Ocean's 11, I think, is probably one of my favorite ensemble movies that has come out in the past 15, 20 years. I don't remember when it came out.
Which one, the original or the remake?
The remake.
Past 20 years, yeah.
Okay, so I love it. Like, I think the cast is amazing. Bless you. I think the cast is amazing. You got George Clooney, Brad Pitt, Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac was in a lot of slappers before, like, he died.
Yeah. But it's got a great cast. Mm-hmm. It's just a fun movie. Like, I love that movie so much. And even to this day, like, I can sit there. If I see it on TV, I'm going to watch it. Like, that's how much I like it.
It's a good film.
And because I loved Ocean's 11, I enjoyed 12 and 13, Ocean's 12 and Ocean's 13 as well. I know 13 isn't great. 12 is better than 13. But...
Isn't the all-female one 14?
No, 8. Which the trailer just came out. And from what I understand, Sandra Bullock plays the Ocean character, which is a sister of George Clooney's character, I believe.
That's crazy.
Yeah. But anywho, going back to...
You're a who.
Because I liked it so much, I was like, I have to give the original a shot, which had Frank Sinatra. It had like all the big names of the 60s and 50s in there, you know? And I gave it a shot, and I was like, ugh.
You got spoiled by the new one.
Like, this is tough to watch.
That's the problem with remakes, though. If you don't know the remakes, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't know this was this, and you go back and watch it, and you're like,
well, see, I knew Ocean's 11 was a remake from the beginning, you know, but it was kind of one of those things, like, I was young when it came out, so I was like, I'm not going to watch a movie from the 60s, you know, that kind of thing. So as I got older, I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a shot. Like, I love the original, why wouldn't I like the remake, why wouldn't I like the original?
And you found out that you don't really like the original.
I don't mind it, but it's just tough to get through. Because it's not as action-packed. It's not as fast-paced. You know?
Yeah.
Like I think there's like a moment in the movie where they're in like a hotel room for like 45 minutes. Like,
oh, nice. Same.
So it's kind of it's tough to get through, but it's not terrible. So,
how about my personal, well, not a personal favorite, but one that kind of blew my mind was Quarantine you ever seen Quarantine?
I did not see Quarantine.
But did you see the Spanish original?
No, I know that Quarantine was a found footage film that was kind of right at the peak, or not the peak, but the beginning of all those movies that came out with the found footage stuff.
Yeah, too bad my personal favorite horror movie came out. Was like the leading of that. Blair Witch Project.
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie.
No, I didn't know it's a remake, though. Quarantine. Yeah. Of what?
REC.
Oh, yeah, I did know that.
Came out a year before it.
Yeah.
It was like this American adaptation of it.
I think, was it Quarantine? I think it may have been Quarantine. Maybe it was another one that it was a found footage film, and people were like, "This is real. This really happened. This is real." I was like, "No, people," because I worked at Hollywood Video at the time, so I was like, "No, it's not people."
Oh, God, what movie was that? Ghostly Encounters, I think.
No, it was something. It was like a one word title. I don't know.
I'll have to look that up.
Star
later.
Trek.
That's a remake?
Yeah. Really? Star Trek. So the one that J.J. Abrams made.
Oh, I was thinking of like the original one way back in the day. I was like, that's a remake? What?
What J.J. Abrams did now. It's interesting because, yes, it's a remake. It's, yeah, I mean, it's a remake.
But isn't it more of like a re-envisioning?
No, I mean, it's a it's a rebooting type of thing. And that's what's so interesting about it, because again, it fits with the theme of new beginnings. That's essentially what that movie did, was like, hey, we're going to take the story that you know, and that's still real, but we're going to have a separate timeline over here, and this is our story now.
Where it's its own thing.
Yeah. So, I think it worked out pretty well. I think the second one was horrible. Third one was all right.
I'm so much of a diehard Star Wars fan, I refuse to watch Star Trek.
Dude, I'm telling you, they're good movies.
Nope.
They're good movies. They're fun.
Star Wars is better. How about Red Dawn?
I don't deny that Star Wars is better.
Yeah,
but
so why would I want to fucking ruin myself?
Red Dawn, I'm sorry, the original is better.
The original is way fucking better.
It's so good. So fucking good.
You know what? While we're talking about, we should do an airsoft version of it.
That'd be amazing.
That would be fucking awesome.
Look, the remake, if I'm not mistaken, the remake, stars Josh Peck and Chris Hemsworth. Does it star both Hemsworths? I don't know, but I know Chris Hemsworth is in it.
Might.
There's a bunch of other people in it also, but I think it took them like 3 years to get it released. Like, they filmed it, it was shot, it was edited, but they couldn't get anybody to release the movie. So it literally sat on a shelf for like 3, maybe 4 years before it was released. So when it got released, I was like, man, what is this? Like, this has to be great. Like, it's been, like, at the time, I was like, this has been being made for this long. It's got to be good, And
it was just got the Duke Nukem treatment.
It was just ass. Like, it was just not good.
It was okay.
Predictable.
But look at the movie it had to live up to.
True, but that's the thing. Like the first Red Dawn, man, it has that. And again, this is when you don't stay true to
the first Red Dawn played on the Cold War a little bit.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, but
you can't do that.
No, but you could. but at the time when that was coming out, that was when they started talking about that movie. That was right in the heart of the war. No,
the new one. It was right in the middle of
the
Syria
Iraqi and Afghanistan war and stuff like that. Like, that's how they could have played off of it. Like today, if they were to remake it today, they could play off of North Korea. That's the kind of stuff that they could do.
Supposed to be replaced with Koreans or something like that, and
remember.
They changed it. Like,
I think that's what it was. I think that was one of the big reasons why it kept getting delayed.
They were like, we can't do this yet.
But the original just had this, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, just this feeling to it. Like, you felt for these characters.
Yeah, because they actually acted.
Yeah, but it was like you could relate to them a little bit better than you can with the remake. And I don't know if it was just better writing, better acting, but I remember being a kid watching the original with my brother, and I just loved it. Like, I absolutely loved it. I would run around after that point when playing guns and with my friends and stuff. And Wolverine, running around, like,
get shot in the forehead.
But yeah,
damn it,
not again. RoboCop. Yeah, they remade RoboCop.
Oh yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah, with Joel Kinnaman. What was it, like 4 or 5 years ago?
Yeah.
It wasn't good.
I didn't even see it. I didn't even
good.
waste my time. I didn't like the first. I didn't like RoboCop.
Really? You never liked RoboCop?
I mean, I would watch it, but
watch
it was
the first. Like, if you're gonna watch RoboCop, watch the first one. Maybe the second one. After that, just stop.
Yeah, it's like the Terminator thing. Just watch the first 3, and then that's kind of it.
It's pretty much just back away. Not even Terminator. Watch first 2, and you're done.
Yeah.
But no, I I'm not going to sit here and say I hated the remake. It just didn't feel like RoboCop. And
Yeah.
I think it's almost going to be impossible to make it feel like RoboCop again because of our technology today. Like back then, back in the 80s when that first RoboCop was made, the idea of the technology of having a cyborg police officer was like, wow, that's futuristic as fuck. Not only that, but it was kind of like the way they built him and the way he moved and walked around. Like he was empowered, like not empowering, but menacing almost, you know, and it worked. What they did with the remake, he was like the skinny white guy in a suit. Like it looked like a rubber suit. Like, you know, so
that's how I go to work.
It didn't really work, I don't think, in that regard. But yeah, RoboCop.
I guess it's my turn. How about fuck, I had one. I had a good one too. I forget what it was. How about Gojira?
Godzilla.
Exactly. But the 2014 one. The newest one.
Yeah, that wasn't terrible.
I liked it.
I liked it too. I loved the marketing for it was perfect. The way they marketed that movie, I definitely thought it was going to be one thing. It was a completely different thing, and I loved it. And I think that's what...
The only disappointing part, you didn't hear Blue Oyster Cult at any point in time in that movie.
Go Godzilla. Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
That's actually what I thought you were talking about for a second.
Horrible movie. It's so bad. I'm sorry. It's bad.
I'm a Tim Burton fan.
Oh, God.
I mean, it was a pretty shit movie, but
it's so bad.
I'm still a Tim Burton fan.
Yeah, and some people will sit here and try and say, "Oh, the new Planet of the Apes movies are kind of a remake," and yes, and no, they kind of are. I like to.
They're too separate to say they're a sole remake.
Yeah, and I kind of like to look at them as the start, like the prequels to the originals.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I like to look at them. I know they aren't in ways, but it's still Tim Burton's was bad. Again, it was one of those things where it was like they just didn't capture the essence, the novelty of the original, you know.
Yeah.
And again, I think it was because of its time. You take a look at the 70s when that movie was made, and it just the idea of a future where apes ruled the planet, like that was fucking crazy back then, you know.
Compare that all of their minds.
Compare that to what was this 1998, 99, 2000 when Tim Burton's came out, and it was just like, hey, we've seen this already. Like
Harambe's alive, and 2014 he'll be a meme.
I mean, but that's the thing. It's kind of like, what did they do that was different that made it relevant, and they did nothing.
Exactly.
So
it's just rehashed.
Yeah, exactly.
How about shit? I had it. The Longest Yard.
Yeah, I like both of them.
Yeah, both of them are. Yeah. That's a rare case where the remake and the original are pretty okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that either of them are amazing films, but I like both of them.
They both are basically the same movie.
Essentially, yeah. They do change it up a little bit.
Except the newest one's like 90% WWE.
Yeah, but they do change it up a little bit. There's some things that they change, but no, I enjoyed the both.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Power Rangers.
Yeah. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
I loved the original show. I loved the original movie. Does not hold up to today.
No, not any stretch of the imagination.
Not at all. But as a kid, I fucking loved that movie. But the remake or the new Power Rangers that came out, what was it, last year? I really enjoyed.
I still haven't seen it.
I really enjoyed, and it's upsetting that we're probably not going to get a sequel, or at least a sequel that we should get for it. But
we should got that trailer. That should have been a movie.
But
for, the comics.
Yeah,
that should have been a movie.
How about The Mummy?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's so different.
Yeah.
It's so drastically different because you have the Mummy movies with Brendan Fraser. And the first Mummy with Brendan Fraser, I think, is an amazing movie. I do. I love that movie. I can watch it.
I do too.
It's one of those movies, if I see it on, it's like, you know what? I got 3 hours to kill because it's on network TV, so it's going to take 3 hours to watch it. I'll watch it. The new one, I think you and I both liked the Tom Cruise movie.
No, it was really good. Underrated. Not how you should launch a universe.
No, like that's the thing. They were trying to rush this universe, and I don't think that they handled it perfectly or very well.
And now it's canceled.
But I didn't hate it. Like I really enjoyed it.
It was a good film.
Yeah.
Now we'll never know what happened to Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Fuckers.
Damn it.
Release me a statement.
What else do you got, man?
I got shit for days. Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead.
actually, Day of the Dead, the remake or sequel or whatever of that George A. Romero's son made, is on Netflix now. I saw it the other day. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw that it's on Netflix. So I want to watch it. Like, I want to, but I was kind of like, I'm gonna wait a little bit because I want to be like, I want to be able to sit down and be in the mood because I love a good zombie movie, you know. And George A. Romero
is the godfather of zombies.
Yeah, exactly. And if his son is making one, it's got to be good. Gotta be good. Gotta be. So yeah, but no, Dawn of the Dead remake is, I think, is better.
Really fucking good.
Zack Snyder, man. That's Zack Snyder. Like, a lot of people don't know that, but that's his first film.
That's a really good fucking movie.
And it's so damn good. So damn good.
It's enough to touch your dick, too.
I love it, dude. I love it. I saw it in theaters. I remember coming home, and I was just like, wow, like, that was a damn good zombie film. You know, so that was a great movie. Day of the Dead, I can't even remember what that one's about.
It's a sequel.
Of Dawn of the Dead? Yeah. But it's not, they remade it, didn't they?
Yeah, they remade both of them.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's about.
It's basically a rehash. Okay. Basically.
I don't remember. Anyways, like, I can sit here, like, I can say, okay, Night of the Living Dead, I know how it was. Dawn of the Dead, I know how it is. Day of the Dead, I can't remember.
It's everything but during the day.
Land of the Dead, I remember, you know, like...
The dead, they landed.
They landed
in Tilted Towers.
I mean, Land of the Dead, I don't know, I mean, you probably know this, but, I mean, it was technically set in Pittsburgh, but shot in Toronto, which was dumb. Stupid.
Super gay. How about Ju-on The Grudge and the regular Grudge?
I didn't like not Ju-on The Grudge, I didn't like.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just creepy.
Nah, it's
not your cup of tea.
It was my cup of tea. Like, here's the thing. I one of the things I do get afraid of with horror films are creepy little kids.
Oh yeah. So that
kid didn't get me.
Really?
Yeah, I just wasn't creeped out by him. He's like, that's stupid to me.
Like that and The Ring. Did you like Samara? Samara scares the shit out. You know that's a remake as well?
Yes, I did know that. That movie does scare the shit out of me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna die in 7 days.
Yeah, that didn't scare me. It was the fucking kid coming out of the fucking TV. That's what scared me. Nothing else in that movie scared me.
What's crazy is
fucking kid coming out of the TV.
You get someone some fucked up devil shit. That shit can happen.
Yeah. So moving on.
As Bob's now terrified. You know, My Bloody Valentine was a remake?
No, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
I didn't either. Yeah. I went back, actually. I didn't watch it when I was compiling this list. I was like, oh, that's interesting. And I went back and read about it. It's kind of the same thing. Do you want
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Here? What?
The Turtles was a remake. Please tell me you knew that was a remake.
Yeah, I did.
Or a reboot. I should say not a remake, a reboot. Because reboot and remakes are different, technically. Remake is you're remaking a movie. A reboot is
you're taking the same thing and kind of twisting it.
Doing your own thing with it. Yeah, but it was a reboot. I thought it was horrible. Dude,
really?
Give me the 1989 or 90, whatever year that movie came out, version of the Turtles over the 2014 version any day.
I feel like we're forgetting the most important one that came out not too long ago.
What's that? It. I actually didn't put it on my list. I thought about it, but I was like, technically, it is not a remake or a reboot because, I mean, I guess you could say it's a reboot, not a remake, just because it was a TV miniseries, you know, and it's not.
That's why I was hesitant, but I was like, most people consider it a film.
Yeah, they do.
So I was like,
only because most people saw it when they went to the video store and like they saw this, 4-tape set, like, watch this, but
King Kong.
King Kong's on my list, yeah, but that's been remade 900 times. But if you're talking about the 2005 Peter Jackson one, ass.
Your ass.
That was such a boring ass movie. The Thing, which was remade twice, actually, I believe.
Yeah, I just put the one I liked.
The Kurt Russell one.
The good one.
Yeah, because didn't one come out like 5-10 years ago?
Yep, and it sucked.
Yeah.
I think we touched about damn near everything on my list.
Yeah, Beauty and the Beast you have on there.
Yeah.
I guess, they remade it to live action.
See, you weren't specific in your loopholes.
The one thing that we didn't touch on was superhero movies, essentially.
Yeah.
Like you have your Supermans. You have Man of Steel compared to Superman the movie. Man of Steel, I think, is a fantastic film.
Yeah, I feel it's weird that I didn't put any of those on there.
You have, Amazing Spider-Man, which was reboot of Spider-Man, and then you have Spider-Man Homecoming, which is a reboot of
essentially
Spider-Man.
both of them.
Amazing Spider-Man was ass, like big time ass.
I never saw either of them.
Then you have the Fantastic Four. You have the two Fantastic Four movies that were out in the early 2000s. Then you have the one that came out a few years ago, which was ass. Let's see, what's Batman's?
Batman's been rebooted trillions of times.
Not trillions of times, but
like at least 5 off the top of my head.
Take 1989 Batman, because before that you didn't have any other films of Batman. So 1989 is the first film. Then you have the 3 movies after that, which coincide with that Batman. Batman Returns, Batman Forever, Batman Robin.
Batman.
Those 4 movies.
I am the Knight.
Then you have where they rebooted it in 2005 with Christian Bale and Batman Begins. And then you have 3 movies there: Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. And then they kind of have rebooted Batman again with Batman vs. Superman. So, I mean, we've had it a few times. I think they've done a hell of a job each time they've done it. I love Batman Begins. I love Batman vs. Superman, so I think they've done a good job with Batman movies. Again, the reason why I kind of save the comic book ones for last is because it's a little bit different. Like when you sit there and you take a movie, like I said, like Halloween, you take a movie like that and you're like, okay, we're going to reboot this. But what are we going to do? Well, you have to keep the essence. You have to keep that story essentially and just modernize it. When you talk about these superhero movies, you have so many stories to pull from.
There's so many comic stories.
Exactly. They're never going to be a copy or the same as one another. I mean, you take a look at The Dark Knight, who the main villain is the Joker in, and then you take a look at 1989's Batman, who the main villain is the Joker. Very different films, both great in their own right. So that's kind of why I just was like, we'll save the comic book movies for the end there and kind of go from that point forward. So But I mean, let us know what you guys think are some great reboots and remakes and stuff like that.
How about our reboot? You like it so far?
What do you think so far? I don't really have anything else to say, my man.
Yeah, no. We're gonna do some shit, and we're gonna do some things. We're gonna upgrade some shit. We're gonna do some shit. Get the website up soon.
Definitely join our Facebook group, because we're putting a lot of our stuff on our Facebook group right now.
Yeah, or even like the page. We'll take a like.
Like the page, join our Facebook group. That's where a lot of our interactions come from, is on the Facebook group. We put up polls daily with different things entertainment-wise you can vote on.
I post stupid shit all the time.
We're going to start posting our movie reviews directly in the group. So just join the group, and Bridging the Geekdoms podcast, that's where you can find us on Facebook. All the links are down below or to the side or above, wherever you have your links at.
Annotated. Who fucking knows?
But so that's everything for issue 2 of volume 1 of New Beginnings.
The reboot and remakes.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone.
It's been real.